A single comment, a harsh remark, a careless insult. Most people crumble under criticism. Their heart pounds, their mind races, their face gets hot, their ego screams, fight back, or worse, run. Because deep down, criticism feels like an attack on survival. Since ancient times, rejection from the tribe or clan meant danger. You're an outsider and on your own. Even today, the fear of judgment keeps people small, afraid, and easily controlled. But the Stoics? They played by a different set of rules. They didn't flinch. They didn't take it personally. Instead, they harnessed criticism as a weapon, a tool for self-mastery, clarity, and growth. They understood that criticism is a part of life. It happens everywhere, at work, in relationships, and especially online. No matter who you are, at some point, someone will judge you, correct you, or challenge your ideas. Today, we unlock the Stoic playbook for handling criticism like a genius, so that no insult, no judgment, and no opinion can ever shake you again. Criticism feels painful because it triggers an emotional response. Someone criticizes your work, it feels like they're attacking your intelligence. Someone comments on your choices, it feels like they're questioning your character. But in reality, criticism is just words. It only has power over you if you let it. When criticized, most people feel attacked. Their brain instantly reacts with anger. How dare they say that? Defensiveness. They don't know what they're talking about. Self-doubt. Maybe I'm not good enough. This happens because the brain treats criticism as a threat. Thousands of years ago, being rejected or judged by the group could mean danger. Today, that same fear still exists. When someone criticizes us, our brain panics. It feels like a form of rejection. But here's the truth. Criticism isn't a threat. It's information, and how you respond to it determines whether it weakens you or makes you stronger. Many people avoid criticism because they fear what others will think. They don't speak up because they might be judged. They don't try new things because they might fail. They don't take risks because someone might say something negative. But avoiding criticism means avoiding growth. If you're never criticized, it means you're never stepping outside your comfort zone. The Stoics understood this. They didn't try to avoid criticism, they prepared for it. Not all criticism is the same. Some feedback helps you improve, while some is just negativity. But most people treat all criticism the same. They react emotionally to everything, instead of filtering what's useful from what's meaningless. Stoic lesson: not all criticism deserves your attention. Learn to separate helpful feedback from useless noise. If you take criticism personally, you waste energy on things that don't help you. You defend yourself instead of improving. You damage relationships by reacting emotionally. You avoid opportunities because you fear judgment. But when you learn to handle criticism the Stoic way, you become unshakable. You stop seeing criticism as an attack. You stop fearing what others think. You use every piece of feedback as a chance to grow. Not all criticism is the same. Some feedback is helpful, it makes you better. Other criticism is just noise. It comes from people who don't know what they're talking about. The problem is, most people treat all criticism the same. They react emotionally, instead of filtering what's useful from what's meaningless. But the Stoics had a different approach. They knew that the key to handling criticism was knowing how to respond to each type. Here are the 5 types of criticism, and how to handle each one like a Stoic. 1. Constructive criticism. The criticism that helps you. This is the best kind of criticism. It comes from people who want to help you. It might be a teacher correcting your work, a mentor giving advice, or a friend pointing out a mistake so you can improve. At first, even constructive criticism can feel uncomfortable. But the truth is, you need it to grow. The Stoic approach: accept it with humility. Instead of feeling attacked, see it as a gift. Thank the person for their feedback. It shows maturity and self-awareness. Use it to improve. If the advice is good, apply it. Example: imagine a mentor tells you, your writing is good, but it's too complicated. Try making it simpler. A defensive person might think, they don't appreciate my work. But a Stoic would think, this is valuable advice, I'll use it to improve. Lesson: strong people don't fear criticism, they use it. 2. Harsh but honest criticism. the truth that hurts. Some people give useful feedback, but in a way that feels harsh or rude. Maybe your boss points out a mistake in a blunt way. Maybe a coach yells at you during training. The message is good, but the delivery is bad. Most people focus on the tone instead of the truth. But Stoics knew that wisdom can come in any form, even when it's not said kindly. The Stoic approach: ignore the tone, focus on the message. Even if the delivery is harsh, ask, is there truth in this? Don't react emotionally. Stay calm and process the information logically. Take what's useful, ignore the rest. Example: a boss tells you, this report is terrible. Fix it. A weak person might get offended. A Stoic would think, okay, the delivery was bad, but what exactly needs to be fixed? Let me improve it. Lesson: don't let a bad attitude stop you from learning something valuable. 3. Hypocritical criticism: when people don't follow their own advice. Sometimes, people criticize you for things they do themselves. The person who's always late complains when you're 5 minutes late. The coworker who never finishes projects tells you that you're not working hard enough. Most people respond with anger. They say, who are you to judge me? But Stoics handle this differently. The Stoic approach: separate the message from the messenger. Just because the person is a hypocrite doesn't mean their advice is useless. Ask, is there any truth in what they're saying? If so, use it. If the criticism is unfair, ignore it. Their hypocrisy is their problem, not yours. Example: someone who never exercises tells you, you should take better care of your health. Instead of getting defensive, a Stoic would think, they don't follow this advice, but are they right? Maybe I do need to focus on my health. Lesson: a wise person can learn from anyone, even a fool. 4. Baseless hate or insults: criticism that means nothing. Not all criticism is useful. Some people criticize just to hurt you. These are insults, jealousy, or attacks from people who don't actually care about helping you. Most people waste energy fighting back. But Stoics knew that the best response is no response. The Stoic approach: ignore it. If the criticism is meant to hurt you, it's not worth your time. Understand that it's about them, not you. People who insult others are often dealing with their own problems. Never let hate control your emotions. If someone's goal is to make you angry, the best revenge is staying calm. Example: someone leaves a rude comment online, calling you stupid. Most people would argue back, but a Stoic would think, this person doesn't know me. Their opinion means nothing. I won't waste my energy. Lesson: insults say more about the person saying them than the person receiving them. 5. Misguided criticism: when people get it wrong. Sometimes, people criticize you based on false assumptions. Maybe they misunderstand your intentions. Maybe they don't have the full story. Most people try to explain themselves over and over. But the Stoics knew that not everyone deserves an explanation. The Stoic approach: if it's worth clarifying, do it once. If someone is open to understanding, explain the truth. If they are committed to misunderstanding you, let it go. Not everyone wants the truth. Your actions will prove the truth over time. Example: someone assumes you were rude to them, but they misunderstood. You explain, that wasn't my intention, but they refuse to listen. The Stoic would think, I've said my part. I don't need to convince them. Lesson: you don't have to prove yourself to everyone. The truth will reveal itself in time. Criticism can make or break a person. Most people let it control their emotions. They feel attacked, get defensive, or spend hours overthinking. But the Stoics had a better way. They mastered the art of handling criticism with wisdom and control. Instead of reacting emotionally, they used clear strategies to filter useful feedback, ignore the noise, and stay unshaken. Here are 7 powerful Stoic strategies that will help you handle criticism like a genius. 1. Pause before reacting. When you hear criticism, what's your first reaction? Most people react instantly, with anger, defensiveness, or frustration. But the first reaction is usually the wrong one. The Stoics believe that the best response to criticism is no response, at least, not right away. The Stoic rule: give yourself space before responding. Instead of reacting emotionally, take a deep breath. Wait before you reply. Ask yourself, is this worth responding to? If so, What's the best way to respond? Example: Marcus Aurelius, as emperor of Rome, faced constant criticism from politicians, advisors, and enemies. But instead of lashing out, he practiced delaying his response. He gave himself time to think so he could respond wisely. Lesson: when you control the pause, you control the outcome. 2. Separate emotion from truth. Most people take all criticism personally. They hear negative feedback and assume it's an attack. But not all criticism is personal. Sometimes it's just feedback, information that can help you improve. The Stoic rule: ask, is there truth in this? Whenever someone criticizes you, don't react emotionally. Look at the message, not the tone. Ask, is there something I can learn from this? Example: Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, said, if someone criticizes you and they're right, learn from it. If they're wrong, ignore it. If the criticism is true, use it to get better. If the criticism is false, let it go. Lesson: criticism is just information. Take what helps, ignore the rest. 3. Consider the source. Not all opinions are equal. If a wise person gives you advice, it's worth listening to. If a fool criticizes you, it's not worth your energy. Yet, most people treat all criticism the same. They get upset, no matter who it comes from. The Stoic rule: if it's from a wise person, listen. If it's from a fool, don't waste energy. Before reacting to criticism, ask, who is this person? Do they have experience or knowledge in this area? Are they speaking with good intentions? Do they live by their own advice? Example: Seneca was criticized by many people, but he didn't waste time arguing with every critic. He only valued feedback from people who had wisdom and experience. If a respected mentor criticizes you, pay attention. If a stranger on the internet insults you, ignore it. Lesson: don't let the opinions of fools affect your mind. 4. Ask, is this about me or them? Not all criticism is about you. Many people criticize not because you did something wrong, but because they are dealing with their own issues. Think about it. A coworker is always negative. Maybe they're unhappy with their own life. A stranger attacks you online. Maybe they're projecting their own frustrations. Someone tries to bring you down. Maybe they feel insecure and need to feel superior. The Stoic rule: don't take it personally if it's more about them than you. Before reacting, ask, is this criticism fair, or is it coming from their own struggles? Is this person usually negative toward others? Does their opinion actually matter in my life? Example: online hate often comes from people who are unhappy with themselves. They project their anger onto others because it's easier than fixing their own problems. Lesson: most criticism says more about the person giving it than the person receiving it. If it's about them, let it go. 5. Respond with logic, not emotion. If a response is necessary, keep it calm and logical. Most people argue with emotion. They get defensive. They let anger take over. But when emotions control your response, you lose control of the situation. The Stoic rule: never argue with anger, stay composed. When responding to criticism, take a deep breath before replying. Stick to facts, not feelings. Avoid insults or emotional reactions. Example: the Stoic faced with an unfair accusation wouldn't explode in anger. Instead, they would respond with facts, calmly proving their point without feeding into the drama. If the other person keeps attacking, walk away. You don't have to win every argument. Lesson: the strongest person in a debate is not the loudest, it's the calmest. 6. Use criticism as a mirror. Every piece of feedback is an opportunity for self-reflection. Even if criticism is unfair, it still gives you a chance to ask, is there any truth in this? Is this an area where I can improve? How would a wise person respond? The Stoic rule: use even unfair criticism to check for personal improvement. Example: Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, welcomed criticism. Instead of getting offended, he asked himself, is there anything I can learn from this? He saw every critique as a chance to strengthen his character. If the criticism is completely false, ignore it. If there's even 1% truth in it, use it to grow. Lesson: criticism is either a learning opportunity or meaningless noise. Either way, it shouldn't hurt you. 7. Know when to ignore and move on. Not all criticism deserves a response. Some people criticize just to get a reaction. Some people will never be satisfied, no matter what you do. Engaging with them is a waste of time. The Stoic rule: silence is often the best response to meaningless criticism. Before responding, ask yourself, is this worth my time? Is this person open to discussion, or are they just attacking me? Will a response actually change anything? Example: Epictetus advised ignoring fools instead of engaging with them. He understood that arguing with someone who just wants to argue is pointless. If criticism is coming from a place of jealousy, hate, or ignorance, don't feed it. Lesson: not every critic deserves your attention. Some battles are won by walking away. The ability to handle criticism separates the weak from the strong. Most people let criticism control them. They react emotionally, getting angry, defensive, or hurt. They waste energy arguing, proving themselves, or trying to please everyone. This makes them easy to manipulate. But when you master criticism, you master yourself. No opinion can shake you. No insult can control you. You decide how you respond. Think about it. If someone can make you angry with their words, they have power over you. If someone's opinion ruins your confidence, they control your emotions. If criticism stops you from taking action, they win. The Stoics refused to live this way. They understood that criticism is just words. It only affects you if you let it. Once you train yourself to analyze criticism instead of reacting to it, you become immune to emotional manipulation. You stop fearing feedback and start using it to grow. You don't waste time arguing over meaningless opinions. You stay calm, confident, and focused, no matter what others say. This is true mental freedom, the ability to choose your response, no matter what others think. When you reach this level of self-control, nothing can shake you. Criticism is a part of life. You will never escape it. People will judge you, challenge you, and try to bring you down. But you get to decide what happens next. By following the Stoic Playbook, you learn to use criticism instead of fearing it. You become stronger, wiser, and completely unshakable. The Stoics proved that no words can hurt you unless you let them. So, the next time someone criticizes you, pause, analyze, and respond like a genius. This is Stoic self-mastery in action.